Live. What up, Facebook, YouTube?
What's good, y'all?
First of all, y'all petty. All y'all petty. And all y'all ugly.
That's the checking session, I guess.
Hey, you just now becoming a Naomi a soccer fan, man.
I was just about to ask that. Like,
I've been a fan.
Been a fan, but I just wanted to make sure we talked about it. By
So
me,
we got,
putting her name out there to make me want to talk about it.
so we got Serena, we got Naomi, we got Coco. It's one more. What's the girl name?
Oh crap! What? Shoot! It's
Sloan Stevens. Sloan Stevens.
There you go. Jeez.
What a black male tennis player said, man.
No,
His name is something Tiafoe. He ain't that good. I mean, he's good, but he's not. He ain't good.
Who? What's the name?
Last name is Tiafoe.
Okay. Got you.
Yeah. First of all, men's tennis is four of them: Djokovic, Nadal. It was Murray, Djokovic, Nadal, Federer, and it was Murray at one point. But
certain people.
Right. But not as of late. Not as of late.
Is he still number one? He should be number one.
Nah.
he's not number one.
Who number one?
Like Djokovic.
He just got kicked out the doggone tournament last week.
He was number one.
which he should have got. Which by the way,
He the one that's been winning.
He should not get kept there for that, man. He obviously do that on purpose.
Hey man, rules are rules, man. Just like what's the guy named Collins today?
Jimmy Collins.
Hey, bro. He did that on purpose. Bro went to the fishing team. Nah, they don't compare. All right, see.
Yeah. So, speaking of the games being played, a very famous game to be played at all cookouts is spades. And our good brother, Skylar Clayton, has learned the art of los spades. As captain is shuffling the cards, just a few questions to pose to our good brother Skylar. So first question, in spades, you deal to the what? Left or to the right?
Just to the left.
All right, ding, 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 ding. Wanted you to start off.
Come on, man.
All right,
trying
good.
to challenge me.
Likewise.
Get off me, man. Let's go.
I'm not going to say what happened while we were there. So, next question to you. Pick the strongest card, which would win a round of spades. Trump is broken. Ace of diamonds, king of diamonds, two of spades, or ace of clubs. And we're saying that diamonds is leading. You want to repeat the question?
It's the two of spades. Two of spades.
You sure? But diamonds lit.
Okay, two of spades.
Ding, 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 ding.
All right, come on, man. Get off me, man.
Okay.
Get off me, man.
Okay, now listen. Okay. You're playing a game of spades with your friends, maybe us. It is a first round of spades. Someone leads with a two of clubs, everyone plays, and you are the last to go. Your teammate plays a 10 of clubs. The other players playing against you plays a 9 of clubs. What would be the smartest play for you and your teammate to win as many books as possible? You playing the 10, or I should say the 10 of spades, the 8 of clubs, the ace of clubs, or the 4 of spades?
Repeat those answers one more time.
Yes. 10 of spades, ace of clubs, 8 of clubs, and ace of clubs, and or the 4 of clubs.
I think it would be 10 of spades, wouldn't it?
And for you and your partner to win, that would not be the correct answer. Your partner actually had already won the book.
To win as many as possible. Gotcha. I missed it. Okay. I see. Okay. Because in my mind, I'm just thinking about just winning the hand, but you said to win as many as possible. I got you.
Cut your partner off, man.
Players messed up.
I
still would have won the hand, and I've been told to play to win.
We could have won more.
One more.
Yeah. Another question for you. When can you lead a hand with a spade? One spades has been played in a previous hand. When someone has played a diamond, heart, and spade, whenever you want. Or when the ace of clubs, ace of hearts, and ace of diamonds have all been played.
I know this. The
name of the game is spades. So it's like, man, when can you leave with this? You want to repeat the answer questions again? I mean, the choices? Okay. Again, the question is, when can you lead with a hand? When can you lead a hand with a spade? A, once spades have been played in a previous hand. B, when someone has played a diamond, heart, and spade. C, whenever you want, because the game is spades. D, when the ace of clubs, ace of hearts, and ace of diamonds have all been played.
He helping you out too.
Yeah.
I believe it's whenever you want.
Yeah, so whenever you want will be the wrong answer.
What's up, Dad?
Bro, say whenever you want. I'm asleep.
I know.
I'm asleep. It's spades, bro. Here you go.
But it's once spades has been played in the previous hand, and if you won, you could lead with that spade.
Gotcha.
So
I knew that. Okay.
So now wrapping this into our regular pregame, right? You slick are learning about spades, but what in the world is slick? Like, is that like the gel that you put on your head to shave, like slick gel? Like, what is the term, or what does the term slick mean to you all? Because I'm still trying to be a Memphian.
We back to teaching shit. And you know what, Trevor?
And here we are with another segment of teaching Sheedy how to be a Memphian. The word of the day is slick.
You know
So
what
to
slick
be able
means?
to slick, be able to do something, it's like, I mean, you can do it, but you can't necessarily do it. It's just like, I mean, I guess you can do it this time, but not every time you can get away with the type thing. So it's like, it's a little like, it's like, I guess, in a sense. Like, you can slick do this, or you slick good at basketball. It's like, you're okay, I guess.
I know Marcus is going to give me something like with like an educational background about slick, like it was derived from slickery or something like that.
So I'm gonna give you the Urban Dictionary definition. So you have two variations. You have one which is slick, which is like sly, underhanded, very all like off the radar. Then you also have like you slick, meaning you're trying to get away with something. Like you think you slick, trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? So as far as like where it's derived from, kind of think of it like a snake. A snake is like slick, slithering through stuff. Like you can't really catch it. And that is where the term slick comes from. It's an adjective used to describe somebody who is trying to be sly and sneaky or underhanded in carrying out a particular task. Slick.
Yeah. Like my spade skills.
Very slick, as in like, not
Those might be sub slick.
might be rough. That's what it is. That man said, "Play whenever you want to." Hold on, that's how you
I
get.
was like, wait a minute.
That's how you get the jack in the table.
Close enough, man. Close enough.
So, Scott, let me ask you this:
Yes.
What sort of conversation do you have with your partner? Across the table.
I guess how many books do they think they have in their hand? How many books they think they got in their hand? You not even necessarily like ask that or say that, but somehow somebody like asks how you looking over there, like they could say, "Oh, I got my 4, 5 in my hand," something like that. See?
From where I'm from, you can't talk across the table.
Ain't no talking across the table.
No talking, zero. Not talk.
Yeah, and if I could slick come to your rescue here,
Thank you.
we haven't went over like the books aspect of like how to bid, right?
Okay.
And so that's me coming to your rescue.
True that. That's true. I get some slack for that.
Appreciate it. See?
But hey, we're proud of you though. You learned it. We're
first
proud of you. Yes.
All right. All right, get this thing started.
Let's do it.
Get it, man.
Let's be real. Episode 101 Dalmatians. Let's go. Let's go.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
Before we get this thing started, first up, you see Sheedy's name, September 17th. What, it's in 4 days. He is expecting his daughter. So congrats to Sheedy and Brianna. Pray and hope
Yes.
for a safe
Always. Shout out
delivery.
to y'all. Congrats.
And
Also,
that, it's the last child, by the way. Last child.
also, tomorrow, September 14th, it'll be officially the 1 year anniversary for Trevor and Amanda. So happy early anniversary from the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You and the
First
wifey.
of many. Shout out to the wifey who's probably in the other room watching as we're talking right now. So hey.
Yep. All right. So let's go and get started. Savage, Memphis football. What's going on?
Gentlemen. So last week, late last week, there was a report out that the Memphis Tigers, at least 20 players have contracted COVID-19. There was a lot of he say, she say, they did, we did, everybody did. But reporters came out and said that there was a party bus involved with like social contact with people as far as like how they contracted it. Others said it was some other kind of party, social event or whatever. Football players came out and blamed Arkansas State because they claimed that they were following all the protocols. All that to say, it doesn't matter. Once COVID-19 has ended the conversation, football has left the conversation. And so Memphis has paused their football activities for this week. And according to an article that I read, they were saying that they tested the players Saturday and they're going to see the results on Monday. They said the plan was to continue to play the game, but that depends on the results on Monday. Houston had been in talks with, I think, Baylor, if I'm not mistaken, to schedule them to play. In my opinion, it's not looking too good for football with the city of Memphis, especially after a win against Arkansas State. And now the Tigers are ranked number 16, but looks like no game to play. So what are you guys' thoughts on COVID-19 coming down in 901?
Something about this story ain't right.
Yeah.
Something about this story ain't right. Because first of all, it came from, I guess, some reporter that reports solely on the University of Houston. So it came from there. And so then I started to think about it. I said, okay, well, if this were to be true, no other school or university is having COVID-19 problems? Because this, to my knowledge, this is the only school. I think I just saw some other school not too long ago. But Memphis is the only school in the entire country with COVID-19 issues. That's my thing. Because then if that's the case, well, heck, OU got problems because they're not even reporting they're not even putting their reports out. So that's my thing. I just feel like something about this story isn't true. This is again every year for some reason the NCAA or the schools wants to pick on the University of Memphis for some odd reason. That's why we always say it's Memphis versus everybody. Something about this story ain't right. And we will definitely see how true this report is come Monday. That's all I got.
To pick off your point, Skyler, Arkansas State, they beat yesterday? Kansas State.
Kansas State.
They had 13 players that got scratched off that couldn't play. I think starters or players who were part of the rotation.
When was that announced?
It was before the game.
Okay. I missed that then. Sorry.
Yeah, somebody posted a tweet showing their depth chart. It was like it was a bunch of scratch offs. So, speaking of that, shout out to Self. Look what you just said. So, pick up your points, Calvin. It's like you said, something ain't right about the story, but it's fair. I don't know how true. ESPN did put it out. I mean, throughout the game, so I was watching yesterday. They basically said the game was postponed. It's going to be pushed back to open date week for both teams, and they had it that Houston is playing Baylor. But I don't know if it's confirmed or not. ESPN, that's what ESPN had yesterday while I was watching the Florida State Georgia Tech game. But back to Memphis, like you said, Skyler, it's too many conflicting stories. Like first you hear Party Boys, and you hear it's just a regular party. Then the football players come out saying they ain't do that, and they blame Arkansas State. Then Arkansas State has 13 players who don't play yesterday.
And then a lot of players came out too. It wasn't just one. It was like a lot of people. Like, nah, we didn't do this.
Yeah, so it's like I said, some ain't right. We're gonna find out more. Well, hopefully we find out more. But other teams, like I said, there has been no other teams. Arkansas State had 13 scratched off. Tennessee had reported 44 players in quarantine last week. They said only 7 to 8 got it, but I mean, Oklahoma's announced this. They're now announcing their COVID or announcing the people who catch COVID if they catch it. Like I said, a bunch of just conflicted stories.
Yeah. To the point of conflicting stories, I think about the articles I used to read, not used to read, but like read about like North Carolina, UNC. So for those that don't know, UNC did have like a hybrid learning. And then after one weekend, they went from hybrid learning to just all virtual learning because there were so many people that actually were contacted with COVID in like bunches. Yet and still, North Carolina went on to play football. So their season has not been halted. So I definitely agree with there's something in the water in regards to like who actually has to report and why. And I almost think like, depending upon the type of school you're at or the school you are coming from and how much money your school can, kind of shut some things away, that will let you know whether or not you can play football or not. Like again, one of the biggest stories I heard about before all this NCAA started was UNC, and to see them actually go and play football and not an ink talked about for their players, it's just indescribable.
Come on, man.
Also, before anyone else go, y'all saw the report about the AAC was concerned that Memphis would be the team that this happens to.
Sounds black to me.
Right? What? Like
yeah.
what? Said iffy. Trevor Tuka.
Nah, y'all hit the nail right on the coffin. Like, it's definitely a lot to be said about what's going on for sure. But I can't wait to see how this story unfold. Like, do we know the players who tested positive? And that's the thing, because if you test positive, you test positive. So where are the list of players who tested positive? You know what I'm saying? It don't take, like they say, 48 hours. No. And then they're going to go get retested for them to get what if the some players that go and get negative reviews, because that's happened before. You know what I'm saying? Some people have gone get tested one spot and tested positive and gone to another spot and tested negative. I mean, you got to look at that too. So it's like a lot of these players may get conflicted reports. And the fact that it's Memphis, back in the spotlight for something negative yet again, I think there's more to it.
I was already bringing calls to pause just when the reports came out. Like, the reports came out from Houston, which would have been our opponent this week, as opposed to it coming out straight from here, which would have happened if it was actually 20 players testing positive. I think it would have been reported here first before it actually would have spread nationwide. But the fact that it actually came out, it was first reported from Houston, this kind of makes it a little iffy in my opinion.
Like, we don't know who the players are. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
As soon as the NFL player gets, tested, he tested positive. NBA tested positive. Okay, if it's 20 players in there.
The only thing I think of is they're trying to, I guess, protect the player from public scrutiny, especially with the whole social event situation. But again, once a person is tested positive, that should be public knowledge based on who that person is around, a bunch of other variables. It to me, it is kind of iffy. I just hope that Monday comes and things come back negative. But even then, that's in my opinion, a competitive disadvantage for Memphis in preparation for the game against Houston, because they haven't practiced since since the story came out, and at that point, I guess the game's Saturday, or scheduled for Saturday. So really, you could have had some valuable time practicing, whether that's for players that have COVID or not have COVID. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody has COVID, it means somebody's got to step up and get some reps in. And if you don't get reps, I mean, you're gonna see on the field who wasn't ready for the game. So I don't know. It's just ugly to me. This is all around ugly.
And then I also had a friend tell me, which is I think is a solid point. They did a party bus after a win versus Arkansas State. Come on, now. Come on, now.
In Memphis.
State.
In Memphis. Like, come on now.
Somebody would have had video of this too. Like,
I was
really
about to say that.
somebody had video of this. Like, come on now.
Y'all know where they was headed. Y'all know where it was supposed to be headed to, right? Supposedly. They was supposed to head to the paint.
The P Valley. All right. Hey, hold on. One more thing to add to it is like, it's not if I'm going to a party bus, it's not just gonna be me and my guys.
Yep, it's girls.
Why am I?
Where the girls?
What the girls say?
Where the girls showing? Like, come on, man, that don't make no sense.
Girls taking pictures, videos. Come on, man.
Why am I
I'm
going
happy
to a party
talking
bus?
about this, y'all.
Why am I going to a party bus in my own city? Like,
Yeah, none of this makes
you know what's all in the city already. So why are you on a party bus? Like, I understand if you was on a road or something, yeah, but I'm like y'all probably could have just went home and just did something else. So come on, man, that's just me.
After Arkansas State.
Exactly.
I tell you. All right, Skyler.
All righty. Speaking of, well, not speaking of, but the NFL did start on Thursday. We did have opening day on this past Thursday. Definitely had the Kansas City Chiefs and y'all favorite football team, the Houston Texans, to get us kicked off on Thursday. Before the game, of course, you saw videos, you saw pictures of all players linked up in togetherness. And during the national anthem or before the game, players were booed by the fans that were not even, in my opinion, not even supposed to be there. But hey, who am I? So the players were booed because they looked like they were trying to be in unison. They wanted to bring awareness to Black Lives Matter, the social injustice that we've all seen and heard over the past couple of months. So what are you guys' take on the fans booing the NFL players?
It just reveals that this whole thing that's going on was never about the anthem. It's all about good old white supremacy, and it was distasteful. Like the fact that you couldn't even just chill for however long they was out there, I think it was maybe 15 seconds, just to boo because of that. I was like, yep, just come out and say it at this point. It was never about the anthem. It was never about the flag. It was never about the military. Like, just admit that this is all about you just don't like black people and just keep it moving.
I take it even further. Just admit that they just want us to entertain them. They want athletes to entertain them, and that's it. Go on, play football, play basketball.
Shut up and dribble.
Play your sport, shut up and dribble. Get out the field, entertain me for these 2.5 3 hours. Then be quiet.
It's just BS.
Go ahead, Savage.
It's just BS to me because the same people who are booing these people are claiming that all lives matter. And you literally saw all lives locked up together in the middle of the field, like black, white, Samoan, in between, everything. I don't understand what was the point of booing they didn't kneel. They didn't even kneel. They just locked arms. That was like the most American thing that could be done is everybody from all different backgrounds, locking arms together for unity, not black supremacy, but just unity across all different races and just togetherness, and still found a way to boo these people. My thing is like, why even come to the game if you're gonna do that? Like, why even come to the game if you just choose to boo during like a moment of solidarity? Like, I don't understand. Like, those people who are at the game are probably the same people on Twitter with no avatar saying, "I'm done watching the NFL." Meanwhile, your ass is there booing people. Like, get out of here with that mess, man.
Keep it 100.
Yep.
I just found it funny that the people that booed probably were the same ones checking their fantasy scores at the game as well. Mm-hmm. Like, if you gonna hate us all the way. If you gonna be with us, then be with us all the way. And shout out to the NFL players for locking arms. For a lot of people that don't really know the concept of locking arms, is to show really real brotherhood, to show real unity, to show that together we can make it through anything. And the fact that like Trev said, white supremacy flat out there. Like, what more do you need for us to show y'all that being black in America is a privilege, but it also sucks at times. We got to deal with boos just for trying to make the world a better place. Like, come on now.
Please please let Justin Harrison know. I will get to his comments soon
I'm sure.
enough. But to what we're discussing right now is racism. And I think was it Ryan Clark? I think made a great point. Ex-Steeler, right? Steeler great, so to speak. Made a great point. We've locked arms for autism, for breast cancer awareness month. I mean, everyone puts on pink for that.
Preach.
You know what I mean? And not saying I'm never against breast cancer awareness. I'm never against autism. I'm in school, so I know what all this means. But people are not understanding that we are really meaning Black Lives Matter. That was a statement for 15 seconds, a minute. It doesn't matter how long that statement could have been. The fact that people boo shows others how naive it's not a world problem. It's the country's problem. It's the United States problem. It's because of how the United States was built and created and how we still fathom to live here. It was born on the slaves' backs. This whole country would be nothing without slaves. Math was learned in Egypt and was brought to America to make everything that we got going on right now. So when you do your research and understand that these Caucasians do not appreciate us, that's when you have to start being ungrateful to them too. And that's when you got to start firing back. And I am all for exactly what happened in regards to locking arms, whatever the statement may be. But even if I don't agree with the statement, I'm not going to boo them during that time. That wasn't just like mean, that was disrespectful, that was rude. And to be honest, I don't know what's going on in Kansas City, but I wouldn't want to be in Kansas City knowing that my fans are booing me for making a choice to defend my color that's slaying all these Black women. I'm gonna start with my queens first and my Black men. I just can't get jiggy with that, man. And shout out to those that did respond and said what they said. I don't know what could have been a better statement if they would have just walked out the field and not even played the game. I mean, the game was great, but a real slap in the face for everyone that booed would have been just walk off the field, because to Sharky's point, all people want to do is treat Blacks as we're gestures. Shut up and dribble. Go play football. Go play tennis. Go play whatever it is so you can shut up about us being racist. But the truth of the matter is we working for them. We doing exactly what they want us to do. And I would love for us to take another step further. And I'm going to say this and I'll let everyone else go. I'm going to say this. The women, to me, are leading the charge and continuing the charge of Black Lives Matter. Whether it's the WNBA, whether it's Miss Osaka, who's wearing a different mask all the time, right? They are the ones there. And we have such a voice, but I believe at times we as Black men are scared to use our voice because of what can happen. Where our Black queens are like, hey, it is what it is. I'm not playing this game. Whatever. Take out my check and let's move on. But go ahead.
Facts.
Yeah, I think for me, I think I was a little, I want to say but a part of me was a little disappointed because this happened in Kansas City, who their leading quarterback, who just led them to a Super Bowl, which I believe was first ever in franchise history, is a Black quarterback. And so you want to boo him and everybody else that's a part of the team and that's a part of that matchup, you boo all of them. It's crazy. Again, they only want it's okay to root for us when it benefits them, but then when it comes to us wanting to be together and show that we want to bring awareness to this situation, we get booed. But hey, it's the country that we live in, sadly enough, fellas.
Yep.
Anyway,
I feel
moving.
Go ahead, sorry. For Indy off, I mean, the statement to me that I want them to make, as much, I'm glad we got football back on the TV, right? Mm-hmm. I want them to walk up the field after this.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I mean, just me personally. I mean, although I'm glad. I mean, we got a sports podcast, so of course we want sports now. It's entertaining for us, but we also are Black. Mm-hmm. I feel like they should have left, but I understand the reasoning behind. You know, that's their job. Everybody, once you make a certain amount of money, they're millionaires, but you live a millionaire lifestyle. You got to maintain lifestyles and all this. So I understand, but in my personal opinion, I would have preferred them just say, "Oh, y'all want to boo? Okay, bet."
Yep.
Walk out.
Go ahead, too.
No, I already saw. I'm
Oh,
good,
okay,
man.
cool.
I see. I hit it on the golf.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We good.
Okay. Cool. All righty. We're moving along as we continue to talk about the NFL. Every week we'll bring about 2 or 3 games that we want to pick the winners of. So we'll actually start off with the Saints and the Bucks, who are actually on TV now. We'll pick 2 more games after that. So currently, right now, we have the Saints 24, the Buccaneers 14. Who do you guys see will finish this game up and take potentially the division lead already after week 1 for that division? Who's going to win?
Man,
Saints.
at this rate, the Saints. I mean, I can't say that. I mean, Brady has thrown 2 picks.
I mean, Brady's known to make comebacks, but this is still a brand new team. You know, they didn't have preseason, they had training camp, but they still got to get in rhythm. So Saints would go and finish them off.
Saints.
Yeah, before the game started, I was going to choose the Saints regardless because with the firepower Tampa Bay has, they still have to get used to playing together. I think this is still a strong defense and a great offense, but the Saints, the 2-time I can't make it to the NFC Championship Saints, still have something to prove, and I think they're just really ready to go. Game 1 at least. So I'm giving it to the Saints.
What about you? I think I heard you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Saints as well, man. They got the experience, they got the chemistry with each other. You know, it's Brady's first game with a new team. You know, no preseason football. You know, Saints already got the lead right now, so I don't think Brady will make a comeback. But if he do, cool, because I got him on one of my fantasies. So I need it.
All I'm gonna say is this before we move to the next game: the Saints just be lucky now, but you're still the reason that Kirk Cousins is in the Let's Be Real top 10 quarterbacks. I just want to say that. So, yeah.
For sure. I think so. A lot of us look like we're going with the Saints. I think for me, real quick before I move to the next game, I think one thing that's kind of eye-opening to me a little bit, and I think we've seen this over the past couple of years, is Drew Brees is on the decline. And I think I'm going on the decline just before looking at his pass attempts. He's no longer throwing the ball down the field. And when you get to the point where you're no longer throwing the ball down the field, you ain't got much longer in the NFL. I don't care what your name is. And that could be Peyton Manning, that could be Drew Brees, that could be anybody in the league. So that's one thing that I'm looking, that's really caught my eye. So we'll move forward. We have the Cowboys and we have the Rams on Sunday Night Football. Who are we going with? Savage, who you got? Cowboys or Rams?
Where's the game at?
It's in LA.
In LA. Oh, okay, I'm going with Cowboys then. I mean,
like it matters.
I just think the Cowboys have too much on offense to the point where they're just gonna smother the Rams. They have Ramsey, but Ramsey can't possibly guard Cooper, CD, Gallup, Jarwin, Zeke. Like it's too many weapons for Dak, and then Dak himself is a weapon, you know. So I honestly it'll be a blowout to be like 45-10. Honestly,
sheesh.
I think y'all know anything about the Rams? I don't like the Rams. Like the Rams are not good to me.
But I know, but 45 points is a lot, sir.
That's a lot.
But they beat them like that. They beat them like that last year.
You know what I'm saying? Like 45-10, man. So
I'll go 2 scores, man. Give me Dallas 31-17.
Okay.
I guess
She gonna last.
I guess Cowboys. Cowboys. They're more. I would say they're more in sync. They are the more talented team. They should win. So I pick them.
Yeah.
Two.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, I'm going in and out. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. I think it's gonna be a blowout as well. I don't think it's gonna be 45, but yeah, at least pass the controller. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm going with the Cowboys.
21.
Yeah, 21. Yeah, pass the controller.
Cool. I'm about to disagree with all of y'all. Still picking the Cowboys to win, but it will be very, very close. I think it's going to be a close game. I'm going Cowboys 28, Rams 24. I'm a little bit. Nobody's brought up the Dallas secondary, so I guess I'll bring it up. Nobody's talked about the Dallas people, the Dallas Cowboys, and whoever these old people that they got on the defensive line. So I'll bring it up. A little bit worried about the Cowboys, but I'm not sure what the heck the Rams are doing. I'm not even sure who's still on their team after Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey.
It's not Cooper Kupp.
But
It's not Cooper Kupp.
They got Cooper Kupp still.
Yeah, I was like, who are the Rams' weapons to take advantage of?
exactly.
Exactly. They only got two. And that's Cooper
It'll
Kupp
be a
and
close game.
maybe
I
Robert Woods.
don't believe in the Cowboys' ability to win by more than 2 touchdowns. Sorry, Cowboys though.
That's why I gave him two. I gave him the two.
Win.
Yeah.
Well, I have no idea what salary cap the Rams have at all to keep signing players to $100 million deals at all. But they can take those and kill it. We definitely gonna win this game. I don't know if we'll score as much as perceived. Just because we either start off really hot first game or we start off kind of cold first game. And so I still give us a win by 10. But to your point, Skyler, yes, we are actually missing a corner in the secondary. And so, yeah, that is a issue. But we have, to me, the best talent back on defense, which is Van Der Esch. And it goes unsaid about him. And I don't mean that in like a all around, I should say, not even just like how he can defend the tight ends or a slot out of the pocket or what have you. But I got us winning by 10. 14 is great. 45-10 is even better. But to Sharky's point, a win is a win. We just need that, and we're not folding under the big lights on game one.
Duly noted. All righty, last major game of the first week, we have the Steelers and the Giants. Steelers and Giants tomorrow, Monday Night Football, 6:15. Sharky, who you got winning, man?
That might say a major game.
Well, it's the only major game left that hasn't been played yet that we hadn't already seen. Sorry.
Titans Broncos would be a
much
better game.
Broncos missing like 8 people.
So are the Giants.
Yeah, I say the Giants too. Broncos must be us.
The Giants are missing that many. Giants are missing that many people. They just don't have that many good people. Period.
Exactly. So still it's about. I was about to say 35 by 21.
Heck no, that ain't happening. Still about 21. That's funny. I wish.
Yeah, y'all can get some pick sixes and stuff. Danny Dimes, he's gonna be Danny Dimes, Diamond, all right. So y'all DBs, let's go.
Shitty, who you got?
Yeah, I got the Steelers in an onslaught. I don't even think it's even close. If y'all not winning by at least 2 scores at the end of the first quarter, then y'all need to do something better. Because I don't see anyone on offense besides Saquon for the Giants, but I also see a reinvented Steel Curtain that can take care of that. And so once you take care of that, I don't even know the receivers. They got Plaxico Burress still. He shot himself in the foot.
Come on.
Y'all, man, I just feel weird, man. I feel weird. I feel like the Giants are going to win this game. I feel like it's going to be like a low-scoring 17-13 type of game. And I feel like Danny Dimes is going to like march him down the field for the game-winning touchdown. So I feel like it's going to be low-scoring, but I feel like the Giants pull it off.
Took.
Give me Steelers. I got Steelers by double digits. I think y'all gave a lot of credit to their defense over the past couple of let's be realists. And we're gonna see what their defense is about. So I'm gonna go with the Steelers by double digits. Shout out to Danny Dimes.
What?
we gonna see what he about, but nah, give me Steelers. I'm joking.
Come on, Trevor.
I'm going Steelers, but it's gonna be closer than I expected.
There you go.
I agree.
If this is a game, because Scott and me and you both talk about this, if there is a game that you look on the schedule where the Steelers are supposed to win, but somehow loses, this is that game.
That's why I said that. I was like, man.
And
that's what they say.
I'm gonna pick the Steelers, but I think it's gonna be much closer to the folks think. I think it's gonna come down to a field goal. I'm actually going 2017 Steelers.
Ooh, that's really close to where I had. I'm going close only because I think we'll win this game, but I'm going a close game just because it's been first game back after missing pretty much almost an entire calendar year. And I've already told you I'm worried about how young the Steelers receiving core is, even if it's going against the Giants secondary, who I have no idea who's on their secondary. But it's just I think that offense still needs to build some form of chemistry, even though Ben has been out for over a year, and you have young and new receivers. So I'm actually going Steelers 21, Giants 14. Give me 2 turnovers by the defense.
Okay.
Shout out to Aiden in the background.
What up, Aiden?
What up, Aiden?
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a very ugly game.
Bro.
I think the game gonna be very ugly, but I think y'all gonna run away with it in the end.
Gotcha.
Like it's gonna be close going to the fourth quarter, then y'all gonna get a couple pick sixes because Danny Dimes. It's not Danny Dimes. He's Daniel Jones. Done.
We get a pick and a sack fumble on my 2 turnovers.
There you go. I just think it's something close. Man.
All right, Trevor. Let's start the NBA off with this comment that Justin made. LeBron's so sorry he just now making it to the Western Conference Finals. Like his is just his second year in the Western Conference, but he's supposedly the GOAT. Shake my head. NBA.
He
Was he
trolling.
hacked?
He trolling. Yeah.
He was hacked.
He has
He
to
was
be
hacked.
trolling.
He was hacked, bro.
He's a Rockets fan.
Okay,
Nick,
before I throw it to Took and let him unleash on the Rockets, because I'm gonna unleash on them as well.
Perfect time. Perfect time.
First, we're getting down to the nitty gritty as we're getting to the conference finals in the NBA. Before we get to the West, which has still the conference finals still has yet to be set. I'll start with the East. Hey, hold on. Before is that Tracy? That's Tracy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's keep it moving. All right. So in the East, we have the Miami Heat who closed out the 1-seeded Milwaukee Bucks and convinced the fashion in 5 games. And then they're going to match up with the Boston Celtics, who just last night closed out the defending champion Toronto Raptors in 7 games. And fortunate enough, for the first time ever, the Eastern Conference Finals will not contain neither a 1 or 2 seed. So I just want to get you guys' predictions on who's going to go to the finals and what do you guys expect?
So let's go.
Boston in 7. Sorry, was I go out of
No, you
time?
can. Yeah, I was gonna let Savage go, but
Okay.
because we already did on starting 5. But I mean, you said Boston 7. I had Heat in 7.
Man, I am torn, man. I did bootleg breakdowns for the Nuggets and Clippers game today. It got a lot of views, y'all. It was like, whoa, I got a lot of views. But this game is like, this is my baby. I look forward to the matchup of like Coach Spo versus Brad Stevens. Like, this is gonna be a coaching clinic. It will go 7. It's going 7, period. Like, there is no way Jimmy Butler gets swept, gets gentleman swept, whatever. It's going at least, well, I'll say at least, it's going 7. I picked Boston before this series even came about, and I'm gonna still pick Boston, but I still want Miami to make the finals just because I want to see Jimmy Butler in the finals. So I'm gonna go Boston, but it literally can go either way, in my opinion. Like, I would not be mad if Miami wins it, but I'm gonna go Boston just because I feel like Boston just has that look. Like I say that about Kobe all the time, where Kobe has that look where it's like you're not gonna stop him. Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart. I don't know what's going on with that man, but from top to bottom, I think Boston just might end up going to the finals, man.
I feel like they had that look they would have beat Toronto in 5. Because that series was supposed to be 7.
Well, with Toronto, I did mention that Toronto had the heart of a champion. Like, I feel like they weren't gonna go down like some hoes. I mean, I feel like they were gonna fight, either way. So I don't take down points for Boston for winning in that fashion. But I just feel like still, like the fact that they won that series still was like, I feel like that was just them and their like destiny to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. So yeah, I think they're going.
All right. Well, I guess I'll go next, and I picked it on in starting 5, and I'm gonna pick them here. I got Heat in 6. I just feel that this series is really gonna for Boston to even win. And I know Jason Tatum's gonna get his, Jaylen Brown's gonna get his, but keeping my eye on Kemba Walker in the series, who really struggled against Toronto, who couldn't really get it going thanks to that boxing one that Nick Nurse had in place for the Celtics. I just think for them to even have a chance, he's going to have to go off. Like Kemba's going to have a great series for Boston to even have a chance to make this interesting. I think, Tatum and Brown are going to get theirs, but I think the combination of Jay Crowder, Iguodala, and Jimmy Butler is going to bother them to where it's going to become just a little bit tougher for them to get theirs. Not saying that they're not going to get it, but it's just going to be a tad bit tougher. I don't know who's guarding Bam Adebayo. They might have to switch up and go away from Daniel Tice to go with more Robert Williams, maybe even Grant Williams as well. And then, of course, Gordon Hayward is coming back, so you got to try to incorporate him back in the lineup, which means it's going to take away minutes for Marcus Smart, who you just mentioned has been balling. So give me Miami in 6.
I would double down on that. Miami in 6. When you look at like what I said on the starting 5, it's about that time when it's not about per se talent, it's more so who wants it more. And when you look at how the Miami Heat been playing basketball since the bubble started, like they're hungry, they want it more. Like they're gritty. They led by Jimmy Butler, who almost had a taste of maybe seeing the finals last year, coming back with arguably a better team, and you got his guys following him. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a lot of pressure on Kemba Walker because Jason Tatum, Lord, he's gonna ball out. We know Jaylen Brown gonna get his, but all the pressure's gonna be on Kemba because you're gonna have to show up, especially what you did last series. And a lot of people put praise on Marcus Smart. I said on started 5, like I don't think he's gonna average 10 points a game this series. And if you consider how much he means to this Boston offense, a lot. I mean, since Gordon Hayward went out, he means a lot to the offense. So I think he's gonna cool down, and like I don't see him averaging 10 points a game. But I do got the Rockets. I'm not the Rockets. I do got the Heat in 6. I think the Spo is got a championship team going, and they're gonna keep it going.
Yeah, I got a lot to say. But I'm gonna be brief. There was a team that used to have like an undersized point guard. There's a team that had a rim protector. There's a team that had a point guard that could get you assists, but not always the points. And you had like 2 great wing defenders. Actually, there was one great wing defender and another one that had some length to them. And they had 1 star on their team. And this star rose to the occasion in the playoffs and won the finals. That was Dirk Nowitzki. I see Jimmy on this same path. And with that being said, I'm saying Heat in 6. I also believe that this presents the best matchup for the Lakers. And yes, I don't care about the West. I know we're going to talk about that in a minute. But let me express why. If there is anyone that knows how to beat LeBron, will be the same person that coached him for 4 years.
Good point.
4 years. And if there was anyone that knew how to beat a super team, right? We put together a super team in 2010, 2011. Guess what happened? We lost to Dirk and them. A super team is kind of put together with the Lakers, even though, Gummy Waiters don't play and Hennessy Smith don't do nothing. But that's a super team that's supposed to win the championship. And if we make it that far, I believe we present the best chance to stop them and win the finals.
Well, if anyone else, we're going to ship this out to Out West, and which still has yet to be determined. So if you guys saw my name, it got Clippers Gonna Clip, which we don't know if they're going to collapse at this point because now after being up pretty much, 3-1 in the series, once again, Denver has won 2 straight to even it up at 3-3. Game 7 will be, I believe, tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken? No, 2 days from now.
Tuesday.
Thanks. So, who is finally going to punch the ticket in the Western Conference Finals to face the Lakers? The Nuggets or the Clippers?
Clippers.
This on starting 5. I have no idea why I'm picking the Clippers. I literally have no idea. I'm just gonna leave it at that. The Clippers are winning.
So I watched Menace to Society last night. Y'all remember the scene when Kane was in the interrogation room and he was like, you done messed up now, right? That's the Clippers. Best game with Clippers. And I kept it PG, saying messed up. He said,
Yeah.
you messed up. You effed up, right? Yeah, Clippers, effed up. Give me Nuggets.
For the exact same reason that Skyler just mentioned about the Clippers, is why I'm picking the Nuggets. I don't know why, but I just think the Nuggets are going to pull this out.
Y'all know who I'm going with. Give me them Nuggets, man.
While we add, Took was the only one who came out and said that this series was going past 5 games. So you definitely deserve your flowers on that one, brother. So I
appreciate it. I'm gonna show smell them, but you gotta think, man.
Bro.
the Nuggets they have a system going. Mike Malone has a system going, and it's working to perfection. And the only difference is between now and, of course, a couple years ago is the confidence. Like Jokic is playing like the best basketball player on the court. Kawhi, Paul George, Jamal Murray. He's clearly the best player on the court. And when you look at Jamal Murray, who may be the star of the bubble, arguably, his confidence is through the roof. And then you got Junior, as Savage called him, calling out his team, whether or not it should have been done in public, who knows? But
2-0 cents. 2-0 cents.
Hey, 2-0 cents. And you know what I'm saying? Of course, they probably talk behind closed doors, but in game 5, when he got that ball and he shot it, it's like, yeah, he put all his money on his mouth and he came through.
And the
block. And a block. So you gotta respect a team like the Nuggets, who are healthy. Garrett Harris has come back, hit some amazing shots, and like I said, they got a system that's been, their team is 2-3 years old. And if you look at a team like the Clippers, who just got put together over the summer and has barely played the season of basketball together, like that's gonna come in handy. That's why I was like, you really can't count the Nuggets out, and that's why I think they're gonna beat the Clippers.
Savage.
Man. So y'all know I just did bootleg breakdowns, and like literally Kawhi, they have Kawhi Leonard running point, and I don't understand why. Because he is your best, like Sky said it best, a mid-range shot is a layup. A wide open 3 is a layup for Kawhi Leonard too. Like he makes them like no problem at all. But they have him running point, which tires him out. And also this guy has not been mentioned yet. He might be mentioned on starting 5. Mr. Glenn Rivers. Glenn Rivers. Y'all did? Okay. Glenn Rivers, again,
Glenn Rivers.
overrated as a coach. I will preach that to the halls come home. Overrated.
I may be on that line with you, but at the same time, like, this still year 1. Like I hope people don't be like, oh, fire Doc, he didn't get it done. Like, it's still year 1. They barely had a season to
he not get fired. He's a good coach.
But you know the society we live in, though, Savage.
Yeah.
Ever since Kawhi and Paul went to the Clippers, it's I can't wait to the West Conference Finals, LeBron versus Kawhi. No, you got the Nuggets that's been balling together for a couple of years. Let's not forget about them.
Yeah,
but that's the thing to Savage and Niles' point. Like, this isn't. We're not just going overrated based off this year. This is past years. He's had opportunity. Even the Blake years. Yeah, he's been like, even when they had DJ and Blake Griffin and Chris Paul, like, they should have at least gotten to the finals at least once. Never did. Never did. And so, even when he was at the Celtics, like, overrated then, only had 2, maybe 3 solid years. Mm-hmm. He's been overrated, and I said also he better not lose. He better not lose. He won't get fired, but he better not lose.
So my pick would be, I'm picking the Clippers because I feel like Kawhi Leonard should be able to win this game. Like, he's been here before with the Raptors. He's been here before with the Spurs. He should win this game. If they lose this game, it's not on Kawhi Leonard. I know that much. It's going to be either on Paul George, Doc Rivers, or Zubac, because Zubac cannot play defense, period. Like, I love this player. He cannot play defense. And one thing, and I'll end it right here, one thing that y'all kind of got to look at Kawhi Leonard's body language.
Yes.
When he's playing basketball. Look at his body language. He does not like playing with these dudes. So I'm looking at Pat Beverly. He might be gone. Lou Williams, he might be gone. It might be a new team around him and Paul George next year, from my point of view.
Yeah, because he's a free agent next summer. So they doing something.
He may go back to Toronto.
It might.
You should have included Paul George in that same who needs to be gone as well category, Savage. But I do want to bring up the point that you said about point guard. I don't remember the last game that Reggie Jackson has even played on the court. Because to your point, Kawhi is playing point guard, and so like it's embarrassing. His body language, I think I brought that up before, is like he doesn't want to play with them at all. And the people that you named, Savage, Doc Rivers, Paul George, Patrick Beverly, like people that may be on the hot seat to like go. Those are also the same people that have terrible records in Game 7. And so to that point, as far back as the Boston Celtics go for Glenn, or as far back as Paul George wants to go with them Pacers or the Thunder, or Patrick Beverly with the Rockets. They don't have great wins in Game 7 when it's really crunch time. So unfortunately, and the Nuggets have proven twice already in the bubble that they can win a Game 7. So I'm actually going to choose the Nuggets. I went on the pod earlier to say the Nuggets for the starting five, and I actually believe in them, not solely because of the talent that they have. I'm more interested in whoever just said this about the team ball. They have a great team ball as opposed to the chemistry with the Clippers is gone. They don't have that. They grade the six-man award, and I don't even know if they won since then. If they did, they won one game, and then it's been like nothing ever since. And so it's over with for the Clippers. Back to the drawing board. What are you going to do afterwards? I don't think Doc Rivers is fired, but he is definitely on the hot seat after this season. And again, Paul George, where do you want to go next? Because clearly the Clippers ain't working out for you, dog.
Yeah. Shout out to my dad for the team ball comment. Nuggets are playing team ball while the Clippers are playing individual ball, which is what Michael Porter Jr. said after Game 4. And everybody ridiculed him except us. And 2 games later, now he's looking like a genius.
Exactly. So now, go ahead, Sharky.
I was about to say, Scott, my bad for cutting you off earlier. I was saying that I've known you and Savage for a long time, and y'all been saying Doc Rivers overrated before he went to the Clippers. Y'all was saying that when he was still in Boston.
Long time.
Boston, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and probably in the most entertaining fashion possible last night, the Lakers emphatically, and I do mean emphatically, eliminated the Houston Rockets from the playoffs, sparking a lot of questions for the Houston Rockets going forward. I'm just gonna hand it over to my alien brother too. The floor is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, the reason I wore this Houston Rockets jersey is because I actually like the history of the Houston Rockets. I have no problems with them whatsoever. Tracy McGrady is one of my favorite players, and he played for them. However, the Houston Rockets that we're seeing now are DONE. They are done. Get rid of everybody. Jump ship. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I actually wrote a couple points out, and I got 3 points that I wanna make. The first thing the Rockets need to do over the summer, they need to find out if they're gonna keep James Harden or they need to find out if they're gonna keep Daryl Morey, because you cannot keep both. You either keep James Harden. We've seen what he's done when the lights get the brightest. Where is he? He's been the same way since OKC. He averaged 12, 13 points a game, shot 30% from the three-pointer, and he averaged like 17, 18 points that season. So when the lights were the brightest, they dropped. You gonna roll with him as your superstar, as your number one option, or you gonna go to Daryl Morey, who is giving me Chris Wallace vibes all over again, and I'm gonna tell you why. Ever since the Daryl Morey's been with the Rockets since 2000, I think it was 6. He was hired as an assistant manager and got brought on the next year after 2007 as general manager, and that's how long he's been there. I'm against Russell Westbrook. Trust me. Trust me. But right now we're talking about Chris Wallace Jr. and that is Daryl Morey.
Hold on, Took, before you continue, do you know what was Daryl Morey's first move when he got the GM job?
Let me see. 2007. It was probably trading.
No, it was. I think it was. He took over as the actual GM in 10, and his first move was trading that guy whose jersey you're wearing to New York.
Makes sense. And speaking of players that shouldn't have been let go, you talk about Carmelo Anthony, who balled out in the bubble. Analytics are taking over taking over the Houston Rockets franchise, and it's all Daryl Morey's fault. Going back to Carmelo Anthony, they do games on 10 game increments, 10 game increments, and they let you know everything that you want to say in a player. That's not working for y'all anymore. You got to figure out what you're going to do with Daryl Morey. Next thing, we talked about Covington in the last podcast. If you trade Clint Capella, who's giving you 13 and 13, one of the best defensive big man in the league, like can play defense, 13 and 13, you trade him for Robert Covington, who's now 6'8", your tallest player on your team, that's an issue. You went from Yao Ming, Hakeem Olajuwon to PJ Tucker. That's an issue. Like, come on, man. So that's you either got to choose between those two. It's not working. Number 2, Russell Westbrook. You got to find out what you're going to do with Russell Westbrook. And to me, I love Russell Westbrook. Y'all know I've always been on the Russell Westbrook bandwagon. But my case is you're not going to win championship basketball if Russell Westbrook is your point guard, not just the point guard. Lead on the team, distribute the ball, get everybody else involved. And you got James Harden, who's the give me the ball and get it the hell out the way. And now you got an alpha like Russell Westbrook, who played on Kevin Durant's team, like taking all the bad shots. Like, come on, man. We've seen how Russell Westbrook can destroy a team with OKC. He plays his way. I love Russell Westbrook for doing it, but he's not going to win championship basketball. Just like Allen Iverson is his way or the highway. You're not going to win. The Rockets need to say, hey, it's not personal, it's business, and they need to get what they can for Russell Westbrook, because those two, as much friends as they are, they're not going to coexist with each other. Mutombo, I did forget about Mutombo.
We're not going to mention Mutombo. Mutombo was like 40 when he was with the Rockets. I mean, he was still getting it done on defense, but he was like 40. So let's be real here.
Point number 3, and my last point, which I can't believe they already killed my last point. They got rid of D'Antoni. I'm sorry, D'Antoni quit. Me, I actually like D'Antoni there because in this offense wins kind of deal, and he did make it to 2 Western Conference championships, so we're not going to punk him there. D'Antoni did an okay job for the Rockets, who, with Daryl Morey giving him the talent that he needed, he did all right for it. But, he walked away from a job, so it's now, who are you going to replace D'Antoni with? Are you going to go with somebody who's going to make a system for James Harden, or are you going to keep going with analytics and use 10-game increments to decide what's good for your players? That's all I got to say about the Rockets. I've been nice on them all season. I actually want to trade them to the WNBA. I mean, you also got to think outside the NBA. Look at what happened with Daryl Morey. China, you couldn't even watch LeBron in China this series because of Daryl Morey. Like, come on, man. Like, Rockets ownership got to make a decision, because it's not working. It's not going to work. And now you're losing money because of it. So now you got a decision to make. But to me, throw everybody away. Start over.
Yeah.
Start over.
Oh, man.
What? James Harden's not number one. He's not number one.
He's not.
That's what I thought. Westbrook played terrible, but James Harden, game 4, 2 for 11. Every year, somebody did a whole thread every year what he does in all the crunch games, and what I tell you, that jump was like
very detailed and very true.
Very detailed, yeah, absolutely. Oh man.
So my 2 cents about the Rockets.
Facts.
One, shout out to Maya Moore.
Shout out.
My 2 cents about the Rockets. I mean, what is the question that I always ask? Is who guarding AD, right? AD didn't even like go ham this series. He had like quiet 25 and 13. LeBron was the one who went ham, and Rondo went ham one of those games. It was just ridiculous. But I commend D'Antoni for committing to his system. I'm mad that the Rockets didn't choose to fire him. He had the opportunity to quit. Like, what? No, he should have been fired. Like, no, you don't get to just say I'm leaving. You need to get fired. I feel like the Rockets, if they come back with Westbrook next year, God bless, because there is no way that Westbrook should be on the team next year. Period. James Harden, I got you. I understand it, but Westbrook should not be on the team. Where does he fit? I have no idea, because his style of play is. I said this back in.
I got a solution for that, Savage. Sorry to cut you out, but when you look at analytics, if you got a point guard and a shooting guard who can average 10 rebounds a game, why do I need a big man? That's analytics for you.
Because you need somebody to guard AD. That's why you need a big man. You need somebody to guard AD.
Hey, two.
Obviously, you don't. Robert
Two.
Covington had it.
Oh, okay.
That sounded like the Grizzlies fans who trying to give Jaren Jackson the pass for his rebounding when they say we could, the guards can come in and get more rebounds. That's exactly what that sounds like.
I don't believe that. I know happy about that. But back to what I was saying about Westbrook, like I said this, like it's 2020. I said this 10 years ago. I said Westbrook needs to be off the ball. I tweeted it earlier. I said he played better when Harden was running point OKC and when they had Eric Manor. When Eric Manor was there coming in off the bench, they had a fluid offense. Like I don't know if that's because they was younger and more open to running the offense now and less entitled like how Westbrook is. The worst thing that happened to Westbrook is they gave him that MVP triple double. That was the worst thing that ever happened to him because now he feel like I'm on 10 every single time I'm on the court. At this point, I don't think he can learn. I think he's gonna run himself out the league and run himself onto somebody's bench. To be honest, because I tweeted this earlier. I said, "What is the difference between Dylan Brooks and Russell Westbrook? Like they're getting the exact same energy, defense, shooting the ball every time they get a chance, and probably not hitting at an efficient rate. Like we getting Westbrook for cheap in Memphis, whereas Houston paying $40 million a year for him. Like I don't.
And he has been in the league 12 years and does not have a consistent jumper. Period. Nope. When you are a starting guard in today's league and people are willingly leaving you open, mid-range, 3-point jumpers, I don't care. When you are not being guarded, it's a problem. That's Russell Westbrook's issue. He's clearly not working on his jumper. Clearly not working on his jumper.
Got the audacity to talk trash down 30. Boy, if you don't shut up.
And your things.
That's a big game, too.
Like, boy. And he worried about Rondo brother in the crowd. Worry about this 30 piece you getting, dog. Like what is it?
And shooting 4 of 13 while you talking.
Like stop it. Talking about double me. Why? I ain't finna single you. I'm finna leave you open. What are you talking about? Anyway, yeah. And back to I'm getting outside with this one, but Lakers in 5, y'all. Like I'm sorry. I said this weeks ago. Like I am not concerned about the Lakers. LeBron, he get that switch and then boop. It's y'all. I'm telling y'all, it's Clippers 5, Nuggets 5. Is no problem.
Yeah. About the Rockets, I said the Rockets had the most to prove to me coming into the bubble for the playoffs because they had the small ball. You had time to readjust and make whatever adjustments you had to make. And the only way that I would say that they would have proved me wrong is if they made it actually all the way to the NBA Finals. Well, they almost didn't make it out the first round, to be honest. If we want to be honest, they were one Steven Adams dive away from Mike D'Antoni probably being fired then. And so let's talk about the Rockets' problem. My first problem I have is the Russell Westbrook issue. Russell Westbrook has an issue like mentally. Yeah. Like he needs help because we all have played sports in some form or capacity. None of us have played professional, right? But we have all played and been around hecklers. And for you to be involved with the heckler twice in like the past 3 years, something is wrong. And you were not losing, you were getting beat in a playoff game, and you heard one fan over everybody else. That's a problem. And you didn't respond well. You only responded with 10 points, but I mean, so could Eric Gordon. My other issue I have is James Harden. James Harden. How many years are you going to keep telling me that y'all are one piece away? How many more years you got to tell me that?
130 piece away.
Let's go and drop you down. I agree. He's not an A in terms of playoff times. He is more of a B in playoff time. And so he might need someone to be that for him. But also, James made a comment to the defensive player of the year, right? And said all he could do was dunk. Well, I mean, you should have said that about your own favorite friend and teammate, Russell Westbrook, because all he could do was lay it up and dunk. Nobody cared about him at the 3-point line. Nobody cared if he was at the mid-range, unless it went off the backboard and we were praying, and he was praying that it went off the glass and in. I'm not worried about Russell Westbrook. Trade Russell Westbrook for something, and not $40 million worth of it.
Thank you. Good luck.
But I think this team might actually implode. Yeah, go ahead, Westbrook. Go ahead. You sitting there, you acting fancy. Yep. And And this same stance he has is when his bags are already packed to go back to Houston. They're at gate C8 already. Go ahead.
He said, "Bro, bag is claim."
Oh man, you guys pretty much hit the nail on the head with everything, and I'm gonna. I don't think no one has said it yet, but I'm gonna be the one to say it, man. Russell Westbrook's days are best days are behind him, like at this point. And for those that probably haven't been paying attention, this is the third year in a row where Russ has had an injury where he's missed some time, or he's had to have the surgery in the offseason. And I think this is the second one where he's had something around his legs or his knees. I think he missed time when this bubble started with the quad injury. Last season was his hand, even though it didn't really help much with his shooting. And then 2 years ago, it was his meniscus. So at this point, if you're at Houston, you need to find somebody that's going to take on the contract. Again, good luck. James Harden has to readjust his game. He needs to get back to actually playing basketball, meaning whoever's going to come in as the new coach for Houston has to put in James Harden's head, you need to start diversifying your game again. You need to start shooting mid-ranges. You need to start taking advantage of smaller guards when they're on you, working from the low block. Can you play with your back to the basket? Things of that nature. Things that we knew that he could do. I knew he could do in Oklahoma City, but just with this system that D'Antoni and Daryl Morey, for that matter, put in place, it's not sustainable. Even Kobe, God rest his soul, said it himself. Like, it's great in the regular season, but it's not sustainable in the playoffs. Harden needs you to move him to the point guard and let him run the show and get like a shooter that can also get theirs, or keep him at the 2 and put him with some other type of PG, someone like maybe a Drew Holiday or something like that.
Chris Paul, but nah.
Or Chris Paul. Or Chris Paul.
I mean,
yeah, this small ball crap is not going to work. So you're going to have to get some kind of defensive anchor to man the inside. I don't know how, but Rudy Gobert is going to be available. He's a free agent.
Can I ask you a question real quick? Who is going to coach the Rockets that's going to be able to like handle Harden and Westbrook's ego? Because Westbrook ain't going nowhere. They're going to well, let's go back to like 2009 and bring back the amnesty clause. You can't amnesty Russell Westbrook.
They gave away draft picks in the trade for him, so they can't.
So that's rude.
That's rude. Oh boy.
It ain't my team, so I don't care.
Yeah,
Better hope they can make the playoffs next year.
You know who they gonna have, right?
Who?
Get somebody like Brett Brown.
All right.
Okay.
All right. What you rather time?
All right. So I stumbled upon this like random meme that just was so happened to circulating across social media. And it's just a basic pick 'em from 2 different all-star teams, and one of the all-star teams I'll definitely age myself when I show you guys this. So, and I've done the homework, and I got I got the rosters for both teams as well as their averages that season, so you guys don't have to do all of that. So I'm going to share my screen, and it'll just be a would you rather. Just give me a second. All right. So here's my would you rather. So in a basic pick'em, 1 game to the finish. Like, who are you taking? The 88 Eastern All-Stars or the All-Stars from the West in 1998? So just for those, like I said, I'm aging myself here, even though I was born in 89, but I'll name off those who made the Eastern All-Stars in 88. Of course, you have the GOAT, MJ. You have Moses Malone, Dominique Wilkins, Bird, McHale, Barkley, Patrick Ewing, Brad Daugherty, who was a big piece for those good Cavs teams back in the day. Mr. Overrated himself, Glenn Doc Rivers. Yes, this was his one and only All-Star game. Danny Mays. Yep. Danny Ainge, Isaiah Thomas, and lastly Maurice Cheeks. And then for the 98 West, you got Shaq, Kobe, Nick Van Exel, Eddie Jones, Jason Kidd, Mitch Richmond, the Twin Towers, Duncan and Robinson, KG, Ben Baker, and Karl Malone. So,
jeez, that's tough.
My first observation, the Lakers had 4 All-Stars. Jesus Christ. They had Nick the Quick, Eddie, Kobe, Shaq. Lord have mercy. Man, 88. That's prime Bird, prime Jordan. Jesus Christ. Pass.
Pass.
This is that's deep. That's Depoy MVP Jordan, by the way, for those that don't know.
Yeah, I got the West. I mean not the West, the East. Sorry, I got the 88 East team. First of all, Savage, you robbed a great point. 4 Lakers are in the All-Star game. I don't remember this 1998 Lakers team making it to the finals. So
they did.
So Larry Bird. So you always say who's guarding AD, right? Who's guarding Larry Bird? Moses Malone is slept on. Charles Barkley is slept on. The biggest
was cold.
The biggest in the East in 88 is Kevin McHale. And there's not enough said about Kevin McHale. And I just really think that this team overpowers them more. I know they got the Diesel and the Admiral down there, but I also watched highlights of Larry Bird going up getting 20 and 20 against Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So with that being said, you can give me the 88 East.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with 88 East, man, because I mean the 98 West team is young in my opinion. Like they're not in their prime yet. So maybe if you would say like 2001 with prime Kobe, KG, the only person that's in their prime on this picture at the bottom is probably David Robinson. Shaq is just not in his prime. Yeah, David Robinson. I mean, this guy put up 72 points. I mean,
and I think it's Karl Malone's MVP year, maybe.
Yeah, but even then, like
this was after his MVP year, so yeah, so
okay.
maybe.
But
Robinson,
even then,
yeah.
You said defensive player of the year, Jordan and Bird. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go East.
Go ahead, too.
Okay, I'm gonna go East as well because, like you said, Savage, hit it on the head. Like a lot of people would see the West team, but they're extremely young. Like Kobe was 90, 95, 96. Jason Kidd 97. Like a lot of these were maybe like 1, 2, 3 year players going against a defensive player of the year, Jordan at his best. I don't think Bird was at his prime in 88. What's Bird? Like he retired in 92, so he was at the end of his prime.
Hold on, two. Hold on. Just listen to this. Bird that season averaged 30, 9 rebounds.
Okay, shut me up. Yeah, he's
6 assists.
Shut me up. Shut me up. Hey, I can admit it. Hey, shut me up. Cool. I'm rolling. I'm gonna roll with the East. I'm there.
Yeah, I'm going with East just because, like Savage said, and I think Cheaty said it too. It's just you got prime. Golly, I mean, everybody in the East is just so much in their prime, and I mean, just I'm going off like Thomas, Jordan, Bird, like all of them. Just like I don't know who guarding all of them. I mean, I see like you have the West All Stars, but like who's stopping them at their point in their life? So I'm going with the 88 East.
East for me. I don't read. Ain't pretty.
I'll make it a clean sweep and go 88 East as well for the reasons that y'all just named. I actually was presented this, and a lot of people actually picked 98 West. So I think if some people were playing because of the Twin Towers, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's true. And this was Duncan's rookie season, which wasn't bad numbers from him, but you got so many people on that 88 East team that's just in their prime at that moment. So give me the 88 East.
And one player that we didn't even speak about is Isaiah Thomas.
Exactly.
And he's an amazing point guard at this time and getting primed to go on and win a championship the following year. Come on, man. Give me the 88 East. They don't know what they're talking about.
I told you what it is. A lot of people see the bottom like, oh, they cold. But it's like,
Yep.
you kind of got to put into consideration age and how really talented they were right then.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's
Younger
why the
generation.
numbers are there. It didn't say in their prime. It just said which one.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Anybody got to say anything to add?
No.
All right, I guess Cap take us out.
What's that, Took? And Took, did you have one? Took.
Did you have a would you rather?
Hold on. Dang,
I remember saying you. I remember saying you did.
Said it before Trevor had.
Oh yeah. I think we went over it on the starting five. It was with the trade talk. I mean, if y'all want to go through it on here, we definitely can. Like we definitely can. It was either I think it was a would you rather trade Chris Paul to Milwaukee or to Miami. Because
He didn't say Miami. I can tell you that.
Both teams could really use Chris Paul, definitely for different reasons. Is in a matter of which one fits, but he fits A+ with both of them. So it's a matter of who would you rather have him on? You know what I'm saying, Miami or Milwaukee.
Depending on what we giving up.
Right.
Okay, let's say I don't know. Like I said on 5, Bledsoe, cash consideration, whatever. Just make it work for Chris Paul, and let's see.
Bledsoe mid picks.
I'll just say.
No, I think it's a way that they can. I think it's a way that they can keep mid. I think they can keep mid if they try to get Chris Paul. So let's say you replace Chris Paul with you replace Eric Bledsoe with Chris Paul, or you replace Kendrick Nunn and maybe a couple other players for Chris Paul.
I can tell you right now, OKC, if they were to deal with Miami, they're going to ask for Tyler Hero, and Pat Rogers going to hang up the phone.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
And if I'm OKC, I need to get mid so I can prepare him with SGA. But really, this is what if I'm OKC, this is what I really want. I'm giving you Chris Paul and Adams. You got to give me mid and Brook Lopez. That's what I want. I need some shooting on my team. If you don't get no Chris Paul, I actually think that Chris Paul would fit. I would like to see him with Milwaukee, and I want to see him work the pick and roll with Giannis. I want to get the ball to Giannis' hands and get him off the ball for like some lobs and some pick and pops. Miami, I think Miami got something. They good where they are. I think they're good. They don't need Chris Paul. I mean, Chris Paul would be great. I mean, I ain't gonna. That's the point guard, but I think Milwaukee would need to be more aggressive to get him. And if they can get Chris Paul without giving up mid, that's perfect for mid, to be honest.
Yeah. I've actually also inquired and liked what mid has been doing by himself. With Giannis down, it's been much more improved. He's an upper mid. He's not like a low mid anymore for that. But again, I think this would you would rather see CP3 actually go to the Bucks as opposed to going to the Heat? Because I believe what Miami has set up, they've set up for years to come, whereas the Bucks are just trying to scramble to say, hey, we need you here, Giannis. What team do you need around you? What stars do you need around you so you can stay in this smaller market before you go and command, some other millions from somewhere else?
I would say I would rather Chris Paul go to the Bucks. I think what's worked extremely well for not only Jimmy Butler but the Heat is Jimmy Butler having the ball in his hands and him being able to dictate the offense. And so whether that means, okay, I'm keeping the ball this position, I'm scoring however I'm going to score, or I'm facilitating right now. And I think if you add Chris Paul to that mix, then that takes the ball out of Jimmy Butler's hands. And I think that lessens his value and what he means to the team. So I would rather see, I guess, for the sake of this conversation, I'd rather see Chris Paul go to Milwaukee. But like I said on starting 5, I don't think that moves the needle for the Bucks, honestly.
Cool.
All right.
That's it. All right. Anybody got anything else?
No, just wanted to shout out Naomi Osaka really quick. She won her second U.S. Open over the weekend. Also, just want to give her a shout out and her flowers to bring awareness to Black Lives Matter. She wore she had names of several different Black people who were murdered in some form or fashion by police, and so she brought awareness to that. So definitely just want to give her flowers to that. Again, she mentioned earlier on the podcast how Black women they're always leading the movement in some form of fashion. Again, Naomi Osaka and another woman doing something great in her sport. So I definitely want to give her flowers for that.
Shout out, salute.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's not keep our necks off of the crimes that have continued to happen across this country, and continue to remember that Black Lives Matter. And as always, as Skylar just mentioned, man, protect the Queen at all costs.
All right. I know, Sheedy, you got a blog coming soon about the racial injustices. Like I said, once again, congrats. Hopefully, a safe delivery for you and the missus.
Yes.
And
Yes.
happy early anniversary to Trevor and Amanda. But till next time, y'all, we're over 101 now. Peace.